and here's another episode of How Healthy Do You Want to Be with myself, Nutripath Stephen Hewer. Today I wanted to share with you folks an overlooked superfood that when you take it can make the difference between having dementia or not having dementia, or having good memory and good mood or not having good memory and good mood, having a strong heart that has a normal rhythm or not having that, having clean arteries free of plaque or not having that, lowering triglyceride levels, raising HDL levels. The biggest problem we have in our culture today is called metabolic syndrome, where the cells of the body become insulin insensitive, and therefore the carbohydrates that turn into sugar in the bloodstream are unable to be shuttled into the cell and be used by the cell to create energy. So because this excess sugar is in the bloodstream, the body converts it into fat, creating obesity that we have today in our culture. So any supplement or any food that we could take into our bodies to feed the cells so they remain healthy and become insulin sensitive, then we want that. So any food or supplement that's able to restore a cell's ability to receive insulin then transports the sugar in the body into the cell so the cell can use it in the mitochondria and make energy. Anything that does that, most people in the United States of America need. I've spoken about K2 before, so we know that vitamin K2, as minoquinone 7, has also been shown to restore or improve insulin sensitivity of the cells. But today I want to talk to you about fish oils. So we've got EPA and DHA that comes from fish oil. We also get it from cod liver oil. So we here at Synergistic Nutrition carry two versions of these essential fish oils, and I'll tell you about them later. But first I want to just expound upon the benefits of omega-3 EPA DHA. So our bodies can take in linolenic and linoleic fatty acids from seed oils, flaxseed oil, and other oils, walnut oil, almond oil. When we take those into the body can only convert a small amount of the linolenic omega-3 fatty acid into EPA DHA. These are the elongated forms of the seed oil. So since the body is not able to convert this omega-3 linolenic acid into EPA DHA in very significant amounts, it's a requirement that humans receive it dietarily, and fish oils being the ideal source. There's now an algae source of DHA, but for the most part you want EPA DHA combined, which we can get from fish oil. EPA has been shown to reduce inflammation, help to keep the bloodstream free-flowing and keep the blood cells non-sticky. DHA is the one that gets most of the attention though because it does so much. It's the one that helps restore insulin sensitivity to the cells. So while the majority of benefits of fish oil have focused upon cardiovascular health, it's also been helpful for lupus, kidney disease, osteoporosis, and macular degeneration. One study established that with only 1 gram a day of fish oil, that it reduced the risk of cardiovascular death by 45% in 2,000 people that had previously had a heart attack. And a wide range of research has shown that fish oil reduces the risk of major cardiovascular events, including heart attacks, sudden cardiac death, coronary heart disease, atrial fibrillation, and death in patients with heart failure. Fish oil has anti-inflammatory and anti-arrhythmic effects, as well as improves endothelial cell and platelet function. So endothelial cell is the lining of the artery. It's responsible for producing the nitric oxide. When you don't have healthy lining of the artery, endothelial dysfunction, then that's the condition where you start to develop arterial plaque. So EPA and DHA have been shown to reduce triglycerides, inflammation, atherosclerosis, insulin resistance, cardiomyopathy, cardiac fibrosis, oxidative stress, and improve endothelial function. Eicosaph pentanoic acid has been shown to lower LDL cholesterol, lower platelets, which causes the blood to become sticky if there's too many platelets, and lower triglycerides. DHA has been shown to lower autoantibodies. That's a big deal because autoimmunity is an epidemic in our culture today. It's been shown to improve vascular function, lower blood pressure, lower heart rate, lower triglycerides, and increase HDL and LDL cholesterol, and increase lifespan. So obesity-induced low-grade chronic systemic inflammation contributes to the development of type 2 diabetes and cardiovascular disease. One factor that's contributed to obesity in our culture is the excess consumption of linoleic acid, so that's omega-6, which is rampant in the culture today. Even Whole Foods markets puts tons of canola oil in all their pre-prepared products. If ever I want to buy a granola, I see that most granolas have canola oil or soybean oil in them. These are omega-6 rich oils that have no omega-3. They've already been processed into an oxidized state. So many people are consuming basically soybean oil or canola oil in their diet, omega-6 rich oils, and excess omega-6 in the diet has been proven to induce obesity in animals. Linoleic acid-enriched soybean oil has increased from 0.006% consumption to 7.38% during the 20th century. During the same period, linoleic acid content in breast milk has increased from 6 to 7% to 15 to 16%. So now we're talking about children consuming breast milk are being induced to develop obesity at an early age because of the excess amount of omega-6 in the breast milk. So replacement of omega-6 with omega-3 fatty acid prevents the progression of obesity in high-fat fed rats. So in addition to the cardiovascular benefits that EPA, DHA have been proven to have on the body and the benefits they've had to improve insulin resistance and help combat obesity, a study on test animals showed that essential fatty acids, EPA and DHA, inhibited radiation-caused tumors when given 2 weeks prior and 2 weeks after radiation treatment by 65 and 93%. Unsaturated omega-3 fats, when fed to cells that were radiated to cause cancer, inhibited cancer occurrence by 65 to 93%. That's the most powerful statistic ever published to inhibit cancer. Research also shows that EPA and DHA increase the production of telomerase that have been proven to increase the length of telomeres by 50 base pairs in white blood cells. That's saying that you're making your body biologically younger. So telomere length determines the youthfulness or the age of the cell. Every time a cell divides, it severs or eliminates portions of the telomere. Shortening it, as you shorten the telomere, the cell becomes biologically older. So anything that can increase the length of the telomere makes the cell younger. Your brain is 60% fat, and 25% of this is supposed to be unoxidized omega-3 fatty acid, DHA. The Western diet is omega-3 deficient. So it's already been proven that you can improve your memory by taking supplemental EPA and DHA. Alzheimer's disease and other life dementias double every 5 years after age 65. Some 80 million baby boomers are rapidly approaching this age in the US, and similar demographic shifts toward aging populations are occurring throughout the world. More than a dozen studies have reported that reduced levels of intake of omega-3, DHA, EPA, fatty acids, or fish oil consumption is associated with increased risk of age-related cognitive decline or dementia, such as Alzheimer's disease. Increased consumption of DHA appears to be protective against Alzheimer's disease and other dementia in multiple studies. DHA has been proven to limit the production of amyloid B plaque, which is the toxin that accumulates in the nervous system and is thought to be the causative factor in Alzheimer's. So we carry here at Synergistic Nutrition 2 forms of the fish oil. One for people who don't want to taste the fish oil. So 5-star omega EPA DHA is 5-star certified by the fish oil standards industry, which is the highest level of purity, meaning there's no heavy metals or other toxins in the oil. So this gives you the pure oil in a gel cap so you don't have to taste it, and in a very concentrated amount. There's about 450 milligrams of the EPA per capsule and 330 milligrams of DHA per capsule. That's a very high amount. So one of those capsules once a day to twice a day, if you're a larger body size, is all you need to get the protective effects of EPA, DHA on the lining of the arteries, the heart, the brain, the memory, all these benefits. The second one is called Rosita cod liver oil. Rosita cod liver oil is very unique in the industry because they use no heat in the processing. So it's the most unoxidized, the most alive of all the fish oils in the entire industry. And they filter it through botanical materials that they derive from the ocean. So it too is a very clean and pure product containing the EPA, DHA in lesser amounts than is in the 5-star, but still in therapeutic amounts. Plus it also contains vitamin A and vitamin D in the correct natural ratios of 10 to 1, 10 parts vitamin A to 1 part vitamin D. We know vitamin A is involved in causing the bone to dissolve old bones so that you can make new bones. It's also involved in vision protection, in immunity, in cell division, a very important vitamin for our body's health. And vitamin D, we know, is not necessarily a vitamin because the body can make it upon exposure to the sun, and a true nutrient that is required from the outside is something that you have to consume. So vitamin D is not technically a vitamin. However, people do run short in this. They don't get enough sunlight. We don't have enough of our own natural production. So vitamin A and D naturally occur in the cod liver oil. The vitamin D we know is involved in immunity, producing antimicrobial peptides, causing you to produce calcium binding proteins in the GI tract so that you can actually absorb calcium in your diet. There's a lot of benefits to vitamin D as well. So you get the whole package with the Rosita cod liver oil, the EPA, the DHA, and the vitamin A and the vitamin D. Suggested dosage on this is a half teaspoon twice a day. Unless, of course, you need a therapeutic amount to catch up with your deficiency. So for a temporary period of time, you can use a teaspoon twice a day for, say, 2 weeks. After that, you can go back down to 1 teaspoon a day or 1/2 teaspoon twice a day. So now you know unoxidized fish oils are essential to human health. I recommend that you put them in your diet on a daily basis to ensure all the benefits that we just talked about. And while supplies last, we're giving you 10% off your purchase of either 5-Star Omega EPA DHA. This is 120 soft gel capsules. So this will last 60 days at 2 capsules a day. And of course, 120 days at 1 capsule a day. And this is the Rosita cod liver oil. It's just a pure oil that you spoon into a teaspoon and take by mouth. But this is a super elixir because it's the most unoxidized alive fish oil on the market. While supplies last, 10% off. I'm Stephen Hewer with Synergistic Nutrition. If you have any health questions, feel free to call. I give 15 to 20 minutes of my time free to anyone who has a health challenge that they'd like me to help educate them on how to overcome. Okay, thank you.